What? Yeah. Play.
Welcome to First Unitarian Church of Orlando. I'm Elizabeth Horn, a worship associate and a member of this congregation. We are looking extra eclectic today, and I'm here for it. So with me in today's service are our minister, Reverend Margalie Belizaire, our director of Lifespan Religious Enrichment, Judith Stein-Farrall, our director of music, Aubrey Connelly-Candelario, with the Chalice Choir, accompanist Danny Manzan-Villegas, and guest musician Andres Villa. We are joined by Ansley Horn, board member Beth Tura, and board president-elect Sandy Pollock. Finally, let's not forget our teams of wonderful people in the background working diligently to ensure that we come together this morning. So thank you, thank you. Let's see, today children will go to activities when we sing them out after the time for all ages, and the nursery will remain open until noon. We greet you this morning, old friends and new ones, as we explore our Unitarian Universalist faith, which draws us into a community of justice seekers with a commitment to lifelong spiritual growth and compassionate service to the community. As a Unitarian Universalist congregation, we are a non-creedal community that does not subscribe to a specific set of beliefs. We live by a covenant that encourages ethical behavior, affirms democracy, celebrates the worth of each individual, and unites us in a search for truth in meaning. Whether today is your first or your 1000th Sunday in our midst, you are welcome here. Whoever you are, whoever you love, you are welcome here. In this community, your whole self is welcome. We welcome your race, national origin, immigration status, gender identity, sexual orientation, age, physical or mental abilities, economic status, or religious background. We welcome you. For more information about our congregation and announcements, go to orlandouu.org or email info@orlandouu.org. If you are in need of a large font order of service, you may scan the QR code shown on the screen, and this slide is also shown during pre-service. We do have some special announcements today. Reverend Margalie will be at a table labeled Conversations with the Minister in Gore Hall. She would love to meet you, chat, and answer questions you might have about Unitarian Universalism, this congregation, or whatever the service brings up for you. Members and visitors alike are welcome. The LGBTQ+ fellowship group, Alphabet Soup, is open for all to join. I love that name. If anyone would like to learn more, they can contact the fellowship at jnelson@orlandouu.org or sign up at the welcome table before service or at Gore Hall after the service. So now I'm going to invite up Aubrey, followed by the fellowship committee for a few special announcements.
Good morning. Just wanted to let you know two announcements. One is that the choir is singing an anthem this morning in Italian, and the piece is called Bella Ciao. And we chose, why would we choose an Italian piece on Pride Sunday? Because this song is from World War II, and it was used to fight fascism. Today, it is still sung as a song of freedom against repression and rebellion and fascist leaders, who we hope won't be here. I also want to introduce Andres Villa, who will be our special guest today playing violin. This coming Saturday night, you will hear Andres again, along with Julia and Melanie Willison. Julia was a member of the choir, and she and her mother are UU musicians, longtime UU musicians. And of course, our own Daniela will be playing piano, and that is part of our salon, Milk District Salon. If you haven't got your tickets yet, you can get them online. In fact, that's the only way you can get them. Or if you are a seasoned subscriber, please make sure you put that on your calendar. This coming Saturday night, the doors will open at 6:30. The concert is at 7. It is a night of music for spiritual healing. We did a smaller version of this concert last year, and it's really wonderful. If you want to go to a concert and leave in a beautifully refreshed Zen place, this is the concert for you. Thank you.
Okay, and now we have an announcement about our Halloween celebration, I believe. So we have... So perhaps less of an announcement, more of a flash mob situation. We do. Okay. I can read what's on here. Okay. So if you want more of that, there is an adult Halloween party happening Friday, October 25th from 6 to 9 p.m. in Gore Hall. Please bring a side or dessert. All right. Okay, a few more announcements about kids-related things from Children's Religious Enrichment. Today, after Time for All Ages, the children will be going to classrooms in the Enrichment Center. There is no children's choir today, so that all ages can participate in the potluck after today's service. Parents, please pick your children up from the Enrichment Center so that they can join you at the potluck. All right, all other announcements are on slides before and after service and also have links in the weekly update or on our website. If you'd like to follow along to the service or see this week's upcoming events, please use the QR code shown on the monitor. Thank you again for being here in person and online today. So now for today's chalice lighting. The chalice lighting will be led by Ansley Horn, and we're going to be trying out a new tradition where we share a little bit about each child or young person who helps with our chalice lighting. Come on up, Vane. So Ansley is a 5th grader at Orlando Gifted Academy who loves reading, singing, and acting. In November, she is going to be in, or December? December. She is going to be in the musical The Best Christmas Pageant Ever at Orlando Family Stage.
Please join me in saying these words as we light the chalice. In the light of truth and in the warmth of love, we gather to seek, sustain, and to share.
Thank you. Now please rise in body or spirit and join me in singing our opening hymn, number 323, Break Not the Circle. The words will be projected on the screen.
To that song was a message itself. I hope you were able to follow along. And good morning, dear ones. It is good to be with you this morning as we continue to engage in this month's theme, which is an invitation to practice deep listening. And today, we invite you to explore making space to listen to those in the margins, be it economically, the economically disadvantaged, those who may be bullied, members of historically disenfranchised groups, and so on. It's just, in general, practicing making space for those who don't always have a voice or those who are not always seen. And yesterday, speaking of those who are not always seen, boy, did we see yesterday if you were able to participate in the Pride Parade. So that it was a wonderful event as always. And we participated along with our sibling church, Triple U. So if you didn't get a chance to attend this year, you may want to plan to do so next year, or at least be part of putting it all together. It was really a wonderful event. And I invite us into worship this morning with the words of Reverend Jordan Nelson. This is a reading that was central to last Sunday's service. However, it fits our topic today so well that it begs another listen as we explore making space for the voices in the margins. Again, the missing voices and the voices that we are called to journey with. Friends, if your take on listening to the other side means giving time, resources, and floor space to xenophobia, misogyny, racism, and hate, I won't. And that's not because of my politics, it's because of my religion. Hashtag UU Faith is not neutral. It may sometimes be uncomfortable when we gather, and that's because what we center ourselves around is not anything that happens to be convenient, nor empty space, nor ethical relativism. We center ourselves around principles and also around a heritage. Those have always endeavored to call us into something more fully in keeping with God by any name, and they have also called us into what is also more beautifully human. I am here to point to that and to be pointed to it as long as I have breath. It's hard work, and we certainly do it together. But the primary benchmark is neither comfort for all, nor equivalency and validation of every perspective. The measure instead is missional love. It's fierce. It does definitely listen, especially when risky. But beyond that, love attends to the dynamics of power, how power flows, where it is centered, who is silenced, and who it's benefiting. And we can thus assess at any point how we are doing in our work by looking to the margins. Does our faith, does our listening, does our love uplift the least of these? Let's keep thinking, feeling, being together while holding the challenge of the idea that sometimes the largest love means no. In which, whatever part of these words you're able to hold on to, come, beloveds, let us worship together. And let us greet one another. But before we do that, I've noticed we've got a lot of little tags on a lot of guests here today. If you wouldn't mind, if you are willing and able to just kind of stand so we can say a special hello and welcome to you. Woohoo! Thank you. Wonderful. So, as we greet one another, members and friends, if you could make sure to try to say a special hello. If you don't get to say it in here, during our potluck later in Gore Hall, make sure that you took a good look. Too late now, they've already sat down. In Gore Hall to make sure to say hello. So come on, let's greet one another.
Hello. Do I have a working mic yet? Do I now have a working mic? Aha, now I have a working mic. Good morning. Welcome to all our guests. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Judith Stein-Farrall. I'm the Director of Lifespan Religious Enrichment here at First Unitarian Church of Orlando. And I invite, this is the time for all ages, so I invite any children who'd like to join us up on the carpet. They don't have to, they can stay in the seats with y'all. But if they want to be up closer and personal, are welcome up here on the carpet. Children of all ages and in heart and spirit and, I didn't want to step in that. Oh, thank you. And we are going to have, if you, those of you who have seen the order of service, we are going to have a counting lesson today. Okay? So, I'm going to reach out to anyone who does not mind being face front on camera this morning. A couple of our children that would like to stand up right here. I'd like maybe, Charlotte, are you here? I'd love it if you stood up and face forward this morning. Come on up, come right here and stand facing the kids. All right. So it's a counting lesson, right? Everybody, these are the people who count. Whoops. These are all the people who count, right? Only these people count. Are you the only people that count?
Yeah.
No. No. Who else counts?
No, nobody.
Who are we missing here?
Nobody. The dogs.
Okay, we're missing the dogs. Who else are we missing? Mom and Dad. Can we have a mom and a dad up here, maybe? Or parents of some, of all types up here?
Yeah.
Just representative. We don't need them all up here. Do we have the youngest in the congregation here, maybe, or close to it? Yeah, we have one of the youngest in the congregation right here. Do we have the oldest of the congregation up here? We have representative. Do we have? Who else do we want to represent up here?
My dad.
Teenagers. I think we have one right there. Yep. Do we have someone in their 20s that might want to, is comfortable on camera up here? Okay, we are, but they would be included in the people who count, right? That's it. This is it. That's all that count. Okay. Okay, cool. Do we have? Ta-da! I don't know if you want to come up. Would you stand up for a moment just to be recognized? People who are disabled. All right, that's it. Those are the only ones that count. That's it. Anybody else? Nobody else counts. Wait.
What about?
Who? Animals count.
In their head.
Who is possible isn't in this room? What?
The babies.
The babies might not be in this room. They count. Who else might? Or we might not know is in this room that counts. Sorry? A ghost? Okay. How about someone that's, go ahead. Witches. I think we have a couple of those in this room. Do we have anyone that identifies among the witches in this room? Someone who speaks Spanish or another language. Do they count? We might have I'm not asking these people to identify themselves. We might have someone in this room who is undocumented. Do not, go ahead. Grandfathers, others, grandparents. We might have somebody in this room or not in that is too shy to get up here. Do they count? Telling me to wind up? Okay. What about the people that aren't here this morning? Do they count? Who might? Oh, go ahead. Lisa Marie, you want to say something? LGBTQ community.
Yeah.
Woo!
Now what?
Who might not be here? Who are we missing? Someone who had to work last night. Someone who's having transportation problems. Someone who's physically hurt.
Whoever is traveling.
Whoever's still traveling. By the way, I wasn't sure I was going to be here last night. I came in from New Jersey at 11 o'clock, so there we go. Invalids, people who are hurting. Do they count? Yes. We are Unitarian Universalists. We believe in the worth and dignity of everyone.
Now what?
How about people we don't agree with?
Yes.
There we go. Okay, everybody close your eyes. Close your eyes, except the kids up here. Sit down, sit down, sit down, sit down, sit down. All of you that can, sit down. Shh, 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 shh. Everybody sit down. Hide. Okay, everyone out there, open your eyes. Do we have everybody in this? Is everybody here now? They're still here. Do they still count? Even though we can't see them all? Yeah. There you go. Thank you very much for this time for all ages. Now we will sing our children and youth out to programming. Would our folks on the aisles who have not been forewarned to please raise their hands in a loving sing our kids out. Thank you for participating.
About a month ago, presidential candidate Trump made the remark, they're eating the dogs, they're eating the pets. He was talking about newly immigrated Haitians to the city of Springfield, Ohio. It is a statement that is laughable, yes, but it is also profoundly sad. As a Haitian American, I laughed when I first heard it, laughed from a place of deep understanding and deep grief. When this was first said, the Justice Council and I discussed me speaking on it from the pulpit, and I didn't see the point. What would I share with you? That Haitians don't eat dogs? That's true, we don't. Just as Americans don't. At the same time, people will believe what they want to believe, and there's nothing I can do about it. So I didn't see the point in speaking about it. However, I soon discerned that it's not the point, which is why I am here speaking to you about it. The point is not whether or not Haitians eat dogs, because I imagine in some parts of the world, dogs might be eaten as food, as nourishment. This is an idea that we might find revolting, but I must say, though, that it is no less revolting to Zambians that we eat lobsters. They see lobsters as bottom feeders in the ocean who eat rotten carcasses. Yet lobsters are a favorite of many here, and we spend good money to feast on them. So I'm well aware that what we eat depends on what we have been socialized to consider as food, as nutrition, and what we might consider as forbidden to eat. All of that is socialized. And even in that, though, there are outliers, right? Exceptions. So that is not the point. The point is the damage such a statement, a lie told by someone in power, heard across the country, is impacting a community that already faces incredible hardship and marginalization. When those in power tell lies, it reinforces stereotypes and spreads hatred. It makes life harder for those already struggling to find their footing in a land that also views them with suspicion. These lies dehumanize and they deepen the divide between us and them. And that is why I have chosen to make space to talk about this. I certainly don't have the type of privilege that affords me a national stage, but I do have this pulpit, and today I use it to make space for the unheard, the unseen, the disregarded. And in that vein, I just want to tell you a couple of things about Haitians from the perspective of someone who spent their childhood both in Haiti and in the United States, specifically in Miami, Florida. When I was growing up, Haiti was paradise to me. It was where children were happy and spoiled and loved, where lovers loved deeply and lived in their own private world, where people felt safe, told stories, wrote books, celebrated life, had costume parties, basked in the sun, etc. It was a place of joy, safety, and deep love. That's the Haiti of my memory, and the one my parents spoke of quite often. I remember once my father threatened to send us back to Haiti because of some mischievous thing that my siblings and I did, and we responded gleefully, okay, and proceeded to pack our bags the next day to go, and we waited and waited. He did not send us back, and we were quite sad about that and felt tricked. Haitians love their country, and many don't want to leave it. My parents' generation dreamed of returning home eventually. My father died about a year and a half ago, and he suffered from senility at the end. In a moment of clarity, he expressed regret and felt a sense of failure that he never returned to Haiti and never made preparations for his children and grandchildren to return there someday. Haitians wrote love letters, love songs about Haiti, and serenaded the country, the most well-known of which is called Haiti Darling. Haitians, like most others, come to this country, they arrive here not out of choice, but out of necessity. They bring with them a deep love for their homeland, a desire to preserve their dignity, and the hope of creating a better life. They're not here to be targets of lies and bigotry, but to contribute, to live, and to be seen as whole people and people worthy of life and safety. Let us make space for their voices. Let us commit to listening, understanding, and rejecting the lies that dehumanize. Thank you for listening.
My name is Beth Tura, and I'm a member of the Board of Trustees. We invite you now into the practice of generosity. It is one of our spiritual values, which sustains the life and ministries of the church community. Let us be grateful for the opportunity to give, for it is a privilege to be able to do so. And let us be grateful for our needs, for they give us the opportunity to practice receiving. Today's full collection will go to the ministries of this congregation. You may also support this month's Share the Plate partner, Share the Care. Please use the link in the newsletter or on the screen to donate directly to them. Please let one you know that you donated. The offering will now be collected. Note that you can also give online. Thank you for that. Let us joyfully receive what is offered here today in the spirit of gratitude and fellowship.
Chris Matthews is a social justice music maker, a powerful lyricist whose songs of compassionate descent reflect her lived experience as what she lightheartedly calls the poster child for intersectionality. On her website, she has a mission statement for her life, and it reads, "To amplify the voices of the unheard, to shed light on the unseen, and to be a steadfast reminder that hope and love are the truest pathways to equity and justice." So here is a message from Chris by way of a video.
The battle lines are drawn, and once again, somebody's saying, wait, be patient. If they knew how long it would be before all people could truly hear freedom ring, I wonder which end of that moral arc would they choose. I wonder if more would have walked in his shoes. This is what revolution looks like. You gotta get in and then stay in this fight. You've got to find a way to get in the way. Speak out every day. Freedom riders or letter writers, do what you can, just shine your light brighter. Somebody call him a saint among men, a founding father, an icon, a legend. Ordinary people with such extraordinary vision in a country so young, hard pressed on every single side, but not crushed, saying, in God, love, and justice we trust. This is what revolution looks like. You gotta get in and then stay in this fight. You got to find a way to get in the way. Speak out every day. Freedom riders or letter writers, do what you can, just shine your light brighter. Make good trouble every chance you get. Eyes on the prize, we're not finished yet. Don't tolerate injustice, my friends. Call them out, but then call them in. If you see something that's not right, not fair, stand up and say we can do better. He said, I may not be with you when we reach the other side, so let the power of love everlasting be your guide. 'Cause this is what revolution looks like. You gotta get in, then stay in this fight. This is what revolution looks like. Get in, then stay in this fight. You've got to find a way to get in the way. Speak out every day. Freedom riders or letter writers, do what you can, just shine your light brighter. Make good trouble every chance you
Find your way to get in the way. Find a way to shed light, to make the unseen seen. And this is the time set aside for deep sharing of our hearts and for prayer and meditation. If you have a sorrow that you need witnessed or help with, or have a joy you wish to share, please contribute to our collective sharing of joys and sorrows. You can do so during the week by sending us an email at joysandsorrows@orlandouu.org. If you're attending in person, you can fill out a card as you're coming in, and the greeters, our wonderful greeters, make sure they get up here. And we also make space for you to light a candle for whatever you wanted to continue to hold in your heart. So, bring your joys, bring your sorrows as we come together. Come just as you are, because your whole self is welcome here in this sacred space we are creating together. I wanted to tell you that the flowers here, so beautiful and colorful, are provided by the LGBTQ plus group in celebration of LGBTQ plus History Month. So these beautiful flowers are blessing our sanctuary. The Chalice Choir would like to say thank you, Danny, for your wonderful piano playing and to wish you a happy birthday. I have a note here from David that says a friend in Sierra Leone lost his infant son just a few months ago, and now he has lost his brother. So thoughts for Mark Bawa. So, yeah. David, we hold with you your friend who is right now grieving and has been grieving for a while now. As we continue to hold our Orlando families in love, our communities with care, and the world with compassion, by acting for justice in all the small and large ways that will move the arc of justice. Let us remember that our connection, that we are connected to all living creatures, and let's send them loving kindness. May all be at ease. And for all the joys and sorrows of this community, shared and those held close to the heart, let us pray, let us celebrate, and let us send each other healing energy. I now invite us into a moment of meditative prayer. If you would sit as comfortably as you can, maybe 5% more comfortable than you are now. And take the posture that you would for situations such as these when you are in prayer or contemplation. These are the words of Reverend Beckett Coppola. Spirit of life, we know there are as many perspectives and experiences of living here in this room as there are people. Spirit of love, please guide us gently into appreciating and listening. Assist us to honor each other in conversation and in deeply hearing so we can see the gift of a collective. Show us how we can find understanding by learning to speak one another's language, so that we may go deeper in our beliefs and connection through a personal and communal and perpetual evolution. Inspiration that this life is we offer our gratitude for both what is within our individual experience and that which is within another's. May we be blessed. I now invite you to come forward and light a candle of welcome, remembrance, and loving kindness or hope. We will light our first candle for those who are joining us online, and we will light a last candle for all the joys and sorrows in this room that we continue to hold on to. So come forward as you are willing and able.
of sorrow and elation. Let all in this house. Let's try that again. Let this be a house of freedom, guardian of dignity and worth held deep inside us. Let this be our house, a platform for the free voice, where all our sacred differences here shall not divide us. Let this be a house of peace. Let this be a house of peace.
Good morning. Well, I generally don't have a problem speaking up, but when I came out as a lesbian, it really took me a long time to find my voice. Even though I knew from very early on that I was attracted to girls, I lived a heterosexual life, wanting to be normal and fit in. We live in a culture that presumes heterosexuality, valuing straight relationships over others. And when I finally came out and left my straight marriage, I cut off a lot of people whom I feared might judge me. I couldn't bear the criticism or the rejection. And later, years later, when I connected with many of these people, I realized that really wouldn't have been the case at all. So many years and relationships lost. You know, how sad. Being a sexual minority is different from other marginalized cultures. If you're Black in this country, you have at least one Black biological parent. They love that you're Black, and they show you how to be Black in a white world. Home is your safe place. But if you're gay, probably you weren't raised by gay parents. And you really aren't always sure if it's safe in your own home. Families disown and physically abuse their gay members all the time. And so you can't help but worry, what if that's me? What will I do? Where will I belong? We can feel inferior and internalize these feelings, thinking our voice really isn't as important or valid or valuable. We put up walls so others really don't get to know us. I mean, think of the simple interactions that we have with people every day and those common get-to-know-you questions, right? Are you married? Do you have kids? What'd you do this weekend? That sort of thing. Just people trying to get to know you. But if you're LGBT and you aren't sure about the other person, you have to decide whether to filter your answers. And some of you know what I mean. You must consider, am I going to be shunned by this person or lose my job or worse? And when we have to hide and censor ourselves, well, we create walls that prevent true intimate connection and friendship. In time, it erodes our self-esteem and can be very sad and lonely. Now, I came out a long time ago, and I do live a life of integrity, but I still have to come out again and again. Almost every time Cindy and I make an acquaintance, a new acquaintance, we have to clarify our relationship. Often these people inevitably look at us and ask, and I can't tell you how many times we get this, "Oh, how do you two know each other? Are you sisters?" And again we respond with, "No, we're married." And then there's a pause, and hopefully some sort of a kind acknowledgement. And you know, the first or second time this happens, it's manageable. But over and over, it really gets tiring. No wonder LGBT people may have a hard time using their voice. It's exhausting, it's hurtful, it's relentless. And that's what microaggressions do. They don't sound off-putting by themselves, but they wear you down little by little. I mean, just imagine, those of you here who are straight and married or online, imagine that every time you and your spouse were out socially, people look at you a little quizzically and ask if you're siblings. That doesn't happen, right? The underlying paradigm is that normal couples look a certain way. So what can well-meaning people do? Because I know we're all well-meaning people. Remember that as an ally, if you're a member of dominant culture, you can make it safe for marginalized individuals. Be proactive. These are a few ways my allies helped me. Be upfront in letting others know you are a safe person. Share about your own life, its diversity, your friends, your activities first. Be upfront in letting others know you're safe. Be mindful of presuming heterosexuality. These biases are deep and they sneak out. So train yourself to ask questions in a way that uses gender-neutral pronouns. Normalize the reality of having a same-sex spouse. Now, another thing that I personally really appreciated with close family members and friends, especially when I was first coming out, is that they offered to share my truth with others with my consent. That way, if it took a beat for the other person to accept it, I didn't have to be exposed to that. Someone else who loved and respected me could advocate for me. Now, today I have my voice, and Cindy and I live an open life. We're out and we're accepted in our world. My biological family is wonderfully affirming. I have gay, lesbian, and transsexual cousins. Cindy's daughters and their families have always treated us just as what we are, a now legally married couple who love each other and create a life together. We host most of our family gatherings, and the grandkids often bring their friends around. And one of our granddaughters refers to us as her Nandy, Nana and Sandy, and I really love that title. Thank you for listening.
In the interest of time, I will just shorten this last part to about 2 minutes and say that Earlier today, I read to you Chris Matthews' mission for life, which says, to amplify the voices of the unheard, to shed light on the unseen, and to be a steadfast reminder that hope and love are the truest pathways to equity and justice. And to me, that feels like the best way to embody liberating love, which is a love that may sound poetically pleasing, but it is a powerful, it is a compassionate, it is a love that its power lies in its actions and the things that we do to bring about the beloved community. May we all find a mission statement for our lives that helps us embody liberating love. May we all be so blessed. And now, please join me in singing our closing hymn, which is a favorite of mine. I have several favorites, but this is certainly one of them. And it is hymn number 170, We Are a Gentle, Angry People. So, join me in that song.
Let's sing verses 5 and 6.
Okay, we're going to sing verses 5 and 6. Let us leave this space today committed to living, liberating love. Let it guide our interactions, our activism, and our care for one another. And in so doing, may we help to create the beloved community where equity and justice are not just ideals, but realities for all. And as for our call to action this week, we've talked throughout this service about how making space for the unseen, those who are dismissed, and so on. So, especially during this election season, with so much noise out there, with so much not so nice messages, we are asking you to calm those voices and make space to hear those who are in the margin, those who are not usually here. And of course, we encourage you to participate in our democracy. So, now please join me as we say the words to extinguish the chalice. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again. Remember, potluck next door.